everyone, I'm Naomi and I'll be taking you around my new house today. Come on in! So we first got the keys to the house about 3 years ago, and we spent over 2 years tearing down, reconstructing and designing this whole place. Since young, I've always wanted to live in a glass house, so that was something I tried to incorporate while designing the place, while constantly trying to remind myself to stay practical, because obviously the heat in Singapore and glass don't really gel well together. And budget, of course, because good grade glass in Singapore is really costly. I kept those in mind while trying to live my dream. So when I first posted a picture of the living area, there were a lot of questions on what these two gigantic things are. They're actually speakers from Estalon. They're amazing quality, and sometimes it just feels as if you have the singer right next to you singing. I guess the main feature of our living area would likely be the lights. We have a pretty high ceiling, so I really wanted something that would be eye-catching. So a lot of hours and work was put into installing each of these individual crystal pieces manually. So the whole house actually uses blinds and curtains from MC2, which specializes in not just regular blinds and curtains, but smart ones too. The ones in the living room are actually motorized. What I really love about it is that it operates silently. You can't hear it at all. And they're full height as well. So this is our dining area. It's where our family and friends have our meals, and we wanted to make sure that the table space is huge enough to house as many people as possible, because we do have a huge family and friends that come over pretty often. Initially, we had a completely empty wall, and I felt like it was too empty, so we decided to work with Design Vault by adding on the stone wall as well as the fluted panels to give a bit of depth to the entire area. So this is our dry kitchen, pantry area, and it's a spot where we spend a lot of time at, as well as our guests. So I take a lot of pride into making this space as functional as possible. It's also where I normally start my day off. Okay, so one of the best and most convenient part of this entire dry kitchen area is definitely the water dispenser. This is from Wells. I love how you can get any temperature water instantly and at any amount. Every time people come, they're like, hey, your tap spoiled, is it? How come no water coming out? But actually, it's a touch function. I guess the whole idea of having like a seamless carpentry is so that we can keep our powder room hidden behind this door. Ta-da! So we really prioritize the look and feel and the overall design of this washroom because it's the most commonly used one by our guests and ourselves as well in the living area. Okay, so welcome to our home theater and karaoke room. This is where we normally host our guests, and if they're not around, this is where we spend a lot of time catching up on shows and watching movies with the family. We actually used like Dolby Atmos surround sound and with hidden speakers from Cricks. So apart from the sound system, I think what's cool is our starlight above me. This whole ceiling is very much inspired by how the Rolls Royce look and its roof, right? So before we move on upstairs, I want to show you guys our stairs, which goes from the first to second level. It was one of the things that I was extremely persistent about because of how much I wanted it. It's hard to achieve because of the curves and glass, but I'm really glad that they managed to figure it out. So this is the second level. We have 3 rooms on this floor and they are all occupied by the rest of my family members. So yes, let's move on to the third level and the last level where I share with you more on my space. Welcome to my workspace. One of the things that I wanted when creating the space was having glass doors, and that's because I wanted a lot of natural lighting. I really like this work desk because of its glass legs. I like the illusion of having a floating desk. Over here, we have a Mac Studio display. I got this when I moved in, and that's because I think I'll be doing a lot of editing work and designing. Over here, we have lots of storage space. I tried to keep the room as clean and minimal as possible. Like I mentioned, I wanted a place where I can just be in the right headspace. So I kept everything hidden in these closets. We actually have a hidden bathroom. So this is another common washroom which connects my office and our living area together, and we have a lot more storage space here. So moving on, this is our third floor's very own living area and pantry area, and adding on to the whole glass house concept. Everything is see-through, which is why we had a hard time deciding on what to place in this space. I've always wanted to have my own fabric collection. I'm also very thankful for my friends and guests because they knew that we wanted to have our own fabric collection. So a lot of them actually came with housewarming gifts of these fabrics. So over here, we have our own pantry area. We have a fridge behind this door. We have a lot more storage space, and inside we have like snacks and food for our guests. So welcome to one of my favorite rooms of the house. This is the kids' bedroom. My plan is to have them co-sleep in the first few years, which is why I tried to keep the whole room neutral. I've always wanted a double-decker bed as a kid. I don't know, it just seems very fun and interesting, and I also asked Kai if that's something that he wants, and he was pretty interested in it. So over here, we have the stairs which leads to the second level. I didn't want to waste any possible space, so I asked my designer to incorporate some storage space in these steps. So we have drawers that we place like blankets, bed sheets, and whatsoever in them. Okay, so this is currently the kids' playroom. It's one of the only rooms in the house with almost no fixed carpentry, and that's because I believe one of them would eventually want to have their own space. So we made sure that everything could be moved around. I think what I really like about the room is definitely the wallpaper. This is by Layerplay. What's so special about this wallpaper is that it's customized and designed by me. It has all our initials on it, so like Zyla, mine, my husband, and Kaizo's. Hopefully we don't have a third kid because otherwise I need to switch out this wallpaper. So finally, this is my bedroom. So I think one of the things that I really prioritize is a good night's rest, which is why I put in a lot of budget into getting great bedding, from our mattress to our sheets to our pillows. Everything had to be like, I wanted it to feel like a hotel. The mattress over here is actually the Beauty Rest Granger from Simmons, and over here we have our book match marble piece, which is the feature wall of our bedroom, but we decided to stupidly cover it with a television. So connected to my bedroom is actually the walk-in wardrobe. It's where we have our bags, some of our sneakers and clothes are. So right over here in the middle, we have an island where I place some of our accessories and watches, or some of our day-to-day stuff like my most commonly used perfume and stuff like that. This tabletop is actually a marble piece which we got from Kstone. In fact, a lot of the marble and stone in our house are actually from them. So in these drawers, we have our most commonly used watches, accessories, and shades, which we wear on a day-to-day basis. And what I love about them are these customized organizers, which I got from Keeper SG. They are fully customizable from the size to the color and the way they are placed. So this is my vanity area. It's where I get my hair and makeup done whenever I need to, which is why I needed a good amount of table space to place all my things and a huge ass mirror so that I can check myself out. Initially, when we were first discussing about the concept of the walk-in wardrobe, I wanted everything to be open, like an open concept, but I realized that it wasn't very practical, which is why we decided to install these glass doors where you can actually see through, but everything is covered and protected in a way where you won't get dust on your items. This is my master's bathroom. We have a dual sink. It's a built-in sink. The top is actually from Kstone as well. The reason for a dual sink is because my husband and I can no longer deal with each other's shit by brushing our teeth together in the morning, fighting over one sink. So this is completely necessary. So over here we have a bathtub, mainly because it makes the bathroom look a whole lot nicer. So far it's only been used by both the kids for bubble baths. My husband and I haven't had the luxury of time to utilize it yet, but hopefully in time to come we'll get to, you know, chill and relax in this. I think what's interesting is that we also have built-in speakers for the toilet and the walk-in wardrobe. Check it out. So yes, let's head back down. I think one of my favorite parts of living in a big family or a multi-generational family is the amount of love and support we get from one another, which is something I always wanted for my children. I remember when I was first pregnant with my firstborn, my husband actually asked me if I wanted to move out and live on our own or have his family continue to live with us. And I knew the answer to it immediately. And I guess that's because growing up as the only child in my own family, I always felt very lonely. So it's nice to see my children and their cousins build a strong bond together over the years. So let's move on to this feature wall. So when we were first constructing the house, I really wanted to have something that would not just stand out when you first walk in the house, but from outside the house as well. We actually came up with this feature, which took really long because there were a lot of issues in the initial phase, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's something that really wows people from the outside of the house whenever they walk by or pass by, and including our guests as well when we have them over. Okay, so before we move on, I want to show you guys what's behind this little door over here. Ta-da! It's our Tesla charger for one of our cars, which is an electric vehicle. And speaking of electricity, fun fact, our house actually runs on solar energy. We have 99 panels built on the roof of our house, and that's amazing because we save on our electricity bills, and it's great for the environment as well. Finally, we are at the poolside area, which is probably the first thing you are greeted with when you enter our house, and it's also one of my favorite places in this place. It's an architectural pool which focuses a lot on the design aspect. So in order to create a seamless and luxurious look, we tried to avoid any edges and large drainage system around the pool where the water blends and flows nicely to the ground. We also have a mini jacuzzi area here. So inspired by many Western homes and probably every family scene of the Fast and Furious series, I really wanted an outdoor space where we could just chill, hang out, and dine with our friends and family. So over here, we have this table from Grohe and Sanders. It's a 2.6 meter long slab of natural wood. I really like it. We actually coat it with a layer of protection, which is weather resistant. Anyway, check out our really cool outdoor rock speakers. They're from True Audio, and I love how it blends in really nicely with the surroundings. Okay, so we have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to find out anything else about the house, do leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!